when completing a split sheet, would you do separate paperwork for a one-stop clause? Yeah, like if you're trying to like be one stop to where you can only your signature would suffice for other co-writers involved in that, yes, you would need like another agreement for that one-stop thing, so that you could literally sign off on everything, and you don't have to have anyone else sign for you or anyone else sign with you, and they just go through you, and you have the right to say, okay, yeah, co-writer 1, 2, and 3 is good with this too, so here's my signature, place it. You would need a separate agreement saying that you can do that. Otherwise, you have a split sheet, but those other writers would still have to sign for themselves as partial owners of that master and that composition. So yeah, yes, there is an Xbox controller on the back wall. I have it for my iPad. I don't really play video games a lot, but sometimes I'll decide to just unwind and play something, or my son honestly plays it probably more than I do. There's a racing game on here that he likes to play, so I'll like hook that up for him, and then we'll play that together. But outside of that, I don't really game too much. But the controller was red, and I said, that's dope, so let's just get it. It was one of those impulsive buys after I got the iPad Pro, and I was just like, oh, you can hook up an Xbox controller to the iPad now. So it was just like, I did it just to be able to do it, knowing good and well I ain't gonna be sitting here playing a bunch of video games. So yeah, it was a part of buying a bunch of iPad accessories unnecessarily. Let's go. The BTZ though, or is it the Beats though? Let's go. Ever consider starting your own ML company? The community is pretty big, international. What is ML? Oh, music licensing. It has crossed my mind, and then it quickly exited my mind when I started thinking about all of the admin work that's involved. And right now in my career, it's just not something I'm interested in, because I actively work and create, and I still love to focus on creating music for briefs, TV and film, and then creating content as well. Like I thoroughly enjoy doing those two things, and I really don't want to be preoccupied with like all of the other stuff that goes along with like running a library or like a full-blown music licensing company. It's just not where I am at this moment. Maybe sometime in the future, maybe, but it's a lot that goes with it. Just the submission process alone, like, man, it's crazy. It is a full-time job. So what's good, Anthony Russell? Good to see you. Do you use a quote-unquote service that connects you directly to sync placements? Yeah, I just go through libraries, man. Music libraries, which are publishers that specialize in TV and film. That's kind of like, my direct source. Occasionally I may go through a supervisor, but yeah, I don't do like companies that are like third party services where you have to like pitch to them and then they have to say yes and then they pass it along. I don't do that, because that can be, it can add up if it's like a pitch per placement kind of thing. But yeah, that's the route I like to go, straight to the music library, so I can focus on creating. You can focus on creating, you send it to them, and then they worry about, all the admin stuff that goes along, and the, reaching out and pitching and all that stuff. So indeed. Nasi for animal. You said a jungle, so you say jungle, I start thinking, tall trees and birds and like an occasional giraffe or elephant. Like that's where my mind goes when you say jungle. But nah, what's good? Dawn Ye, have you done any film scoring? I just scored my first film last week. DJ Horn, shout out to you for scoring your first film. That's dope. I have scored a short documentary before, and it was like a combination of placing music that was already created and creating music to picture in some spots. So I've done that, and I've done a little bit of scoring for it was like a TV show, a reality show pilot. So that was pretty cool. Completely different than like your create music, send it to publisher type of situation. Like, it's fun though. It's dope.